I'm
And
surprised
we're
that's not
live.
more of a. I'm surprised that's not a hook that rappers use. Like, fuck it, we'll do it live,
Fuck
and then
it, we'll
like
do it
a
live.
and then a sick beat drops.
Um, I wish, well, for everyone tuning in, my FiOS lines are in my front lawn connected to the neighbor's house. Um, Actually, I'll tell you a whole story about that because, maybe this is like Adam's therapy session. I need to kind of bitch about that today, but
Lay it on us, man. We're here for you.
mainly because it's like I feel like it's a security issue with kids and stuff, but not just my kids, kids all over the block. The internet's out, and I called FiOS, and they said that they had an available appointment tomorrow evening. And I said I'm not a new customer looking for installation. There's a line from our pole in our yard to the house across the street, and the last minivan that drove through, it got caught on the mirror. Um, and they were like, tomorrow evening is the best we could do, but we could also offer you a credit for the 48 hours you're out. I'm like, no, like everyone's out, and there's a line that, it's not an electrical line, but like someone may drive towards it thinking it's an electrical line. So anyhow, we're live, partly from my kitchen, and Kyle helped make sure that we were able to still get on. And here we are.
I'm glad you made it.
Hey man, thanks.
It's funny. I forget other people have weather and like weather issues. Like it rained this morning in LA, and it was just like, oh fuck, it's raining. I forget that like there are people with power lines down and shit like that. There's a terrible winter storm gripping much of the upper Midwest, and that's dangerous shit.
And I
It's
should have known more about power lines back in the day, but I didn't until recently. And the Dominion guy was very nice. He's
wait,
like,
wait, wait,
hey,
wait, wait, wait. Can I back up a second? You said you used to know more about power lines.
no, I didn't. I should have
Oh,
known more, but I just learned because the same FiOS line came down recently, and I was like, oh my God, I put cones out, and I went and got, I was like, I was terrified that it was a live line. And this nice guy from Dominion goes, you see all that nice shiny stuff up there? That's us. The stuff below, that's just, but people like me that drive towards that may think it's a live line and then, go
they
off
get
the
out their parking
sidewalk or go
cones.
to, something. I don't know.
How many parking
Um,
cones do you own?
I've got three on loan from the county that are here because they're redoing gas lines or something like that. I intend on giving them back.
It's so funny to me. Like you're a total Boy Scout, and I'm the guy that used to steal from the Boy Scouts. It's a good combo we got here. We really are a Sour Patch Kid.
Well, I think at some point we'll probably talk about Jackass, it sounds like. But anyways, we got on, it worked, and a lot of people joining. Thank you. I'm being nice and quiet because Paxton is napping. But how you doing, man? The last thing I was going to say was when you were talking about weather, because of you, I always look at the weather in Kentucky the day before to get an idea
Mm.
of what's coming our way. I learned that
Yeah,
little trick from you, and it works very well.
yeah. No, it's very funny. The whole time I was living in DC, I would just call my family to find out, what their weather was going to be. This was back when we had to communicate with tin cans tied together by a string. I've seen a couple folks commenting on my hair. I just came straight from physical therapy, and I had like 5 minutes to rinse off like the lotion they use on you, and so I just threw on a hat. It looks even worse under the hat, but thanks for
It looks
understanding.
good. It looks
Oh, that's
either
nice.
like the Utes or the guy from Dumb and Dumber.
Thanks. Yeah, yeah. Harry Dunn or Harry. Yeah, it is Harry Dunn, right?
You
Lloyd
know,
Christmas and Harry.
the other Patriot is throwing me off by name right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, am I getting that wrong? Is the January 6th cop hero? Does he have the same name as the Dumb and
The
Dumber guy? Am
question
I
is,
confusing those?
is Tim taking the day off or is he back?
Oh, I think he's back.
Okay, so then
Yeah,
we'll
he's
know
one of the
momentarily.
smartasses commenting on my.
Let's see. I don't know the text on my oh, there we go. Maybe this will make it bigger. Who knows? I can't read anything.
I'll tell you, I could live with being Harry from Dumb and Dumber. He seemed like a very sweet man. Uh,
He
and
did. I'm thinking of that
Yeah.
like pink suit right now.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, it's the orange and turquoise, right? And God, what a
Yeah.
funny fucking movie. I swear to God, that movie
Who
just
was it?
killed
Was
me.
it Carrie that wore Jim Carrey that wore the pink suit?
I don't remember a pink suit. Are you talking about when they're like going to the charity function? They're dressed in
Yeah.
powder blue and orange. Yeah, I
Yeah.
love. And he's like,
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay here by the bar and put out the vibe.
That's what it is.
Yeah. In fact, I think you and I should both. That should be like future Halloween
Halloween
costume for us.
costume.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of us has to get to the other coast. I finally have your view. So I'm like, oh, that little green dot is actually uh where everybody's at. Okay.
Yeah, that's funny. When I was first starting out doing television, a lot of times when you're doing network TV, they just stick you in like a dark room that feels like a closet, and it's just you and a camera. And I forget who it was, but somebody said you got to look for like a little piece of glare in the camera and make that the eyes of the audience, so that you're making eye contact. Yeah, it's hard. It's weird because like I want to look directly at you, the picture, but instead I need to look at the dot, so I'm actually looking
Right.
at people.
But then you
Um,
miss the comments, which I think is why like all these YouTubers and all the other sites are so successful because their angle is like here and they're right here, and Keith does that a lot. Um, although I will say a lot of those little studios have now changed because they're so fancy. The TV screen is in front of the camera now, so you actually get to look at whoever you're looking at.
By the way, Christina, I see you. I haven't worn a bra in days. It's that time of year, y'all. It's taint week. So let it go. Just be yourself. Don't fucking shower if you don't want to, unless you just really, really smell bad. Uh no, man, I
This is
just
the comment from earlier. Is she on?
uh who?
The person that you were talking to just now.
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, no, it's one of the comments here. She was saying ball cap and a sweatshirt to hide the fact that I'm not wearing a bra. Um,
Oh, okay, got it. I thought we were going back to the taint comment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm actually really glad I had physical therapy this morning for a couple of reasons. One, I find
Physical
out by
or
the
real therapy?
no real physical therapy this
Okay,
morning.
got it. Got it.
Uh, so I found out the good news is I'm off crutches. I'm off a cane by the end of this week. So making real progress. I still walk kind of funny, but I always did. So that's not new. The other reason I was really glad to have physical therapy is I needed to calm the fuck down. Um, If you read today's newsletter, we opened with talking about Taint Week, also known as Gooch Week.
We also
Apparent.
opened with K Pasa Patriots.
Oh yeah, I say K-pos all the time. I think it's just from living in LA. But yeah, I like it. Anyway, I also did Feliz Navidad just before Christmas. I like that one too. I'm working on my Spanglish. I want to be
And
incoherent in two
we're not
languages.
canceled.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
nice. Yeah, we're gonna get asked to perform the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and then everybody will tell us to go back to our country without realizing we're from here.
And take your
Um,
1,000 bottles of baby oil with you, Sam.
I only have one, and it's for
Okay,
tar
good.
balls.
Okay, good.
Um, yeah. So this morning, after we got the newsletter out, one of our first comments was from somebody telling us we should look up the word misogyny um, because of our description of the word taint. This person told us they love our writing, they love our cussing, they love everything, but they were very offended by the word taint. Okay. Um, I am curious why the fuck people choose to take some words literally and other words not so much. It's amazing to me that when our country, our human rights, our democracy are being fed into a fucking meat grinder, that there are folks who have time to send us very angry pieces about our use of the word taint or pussy is
Okay,
another.
for the record, Sam's use of the words.
Yeah, yeah, it's just me. It's just me. And here's the thing I realize. Like, I understand why people are offended by the word pussy. I get it. I don't like the C word. It bothers me. I don't like the way it hits my ears. But I
And
guess
by
what
the
I
way,
would say,
asterisk, every time there is criticism, the response is fair, which is that is a hell of a lot stronger than your balls, which when you guys get kicked in, you go straight to the knees.
oh, yeah, 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 yeah. No, the actual human body part we're talking about is beautiful, resilient, and has led me to make more stupid fucking decisions than I could possibly count. But here's what drives me crazy. We regularly refer to people as dickheads, and we don't ever get a single email about the sensitivity of the tip of the penis. It's almost like that's not what we were talking about. It's almost like we were using slang that used to refer to a part of the body and now means something else. Um,
Or 99.9% of the men in this country are dickheads, and it's a good description.
well, there is that, and I'll tell you, I don't. That's why I was saying I'm glad for physical therapy because it gave me some time to calm down. Because my initial reaction was just to tell this person to go fuck themselves. I mean, my favorite thing in the world. She was like, "Do you have females on your editorial staff?" And it's like, "The fuck are you talking about? We don't have an editorial staff. It's both of us and Kyle. It's like that's it.
By
South
the way,
Park has more fucking people.
Kyle is here if Kyle wants to say hi. And with that said, we would love females on the team. If anybody wants to, you know,
Exactly. You think we don't want to get smarter?
this is not a money maker, unfortunately. So
There is
anybody that
that.
wants to join,
Yeah.
we need you.
Yeah, you can read the you can read the comments. No, but anyway, I started thinking about it, and I hate that I get this way where I just get mad, I just get defensive, and I basically just start coming up with all my arguments for why this person was wrong and also really fucking dumb and I'm sorry. And
It's
I
okay.
realized,
She's a paid subscriber. Keep going.
oh, good. This is why we're not a moneymaker because I can't shut my fucking mouth. Um, but I started thinking about it, and while my initial reaction I think is defensible, I also need to take some of my own advice and remember that people are freaked the fuck out right now. And I guess the benefit of the doubt that I would give this person that they didn't give us is that when everything's going to hell and you can't control anything, maybe you reach out to try to control the shit that you can. You know, Donald Trump's not going to listen to you, but maybe the guys at the Cussing Newsletter will. Um, I guess what I would say is I should have given this reader more grace. I wish she'd done the same for us. Um, at some point, we can't keep voting people off the island. Not if we want to win elections. Um, there are a lot of fucking Democrats I don't like, but I'm not trying to run them away. Um, anyway, I was pissed off about that this morning. I had some time to think about it. Um, I'm still laughing about the idea that we have like this massive editorial staff. We used to joke back in the days like that there was a TBS HQ, like a headquarters with like a fire pole to slide down when news broke. And I wonder if like people like believe that it's because
Look,
it's
I've
not
gotten
a.
into like at least two congressional events by letting them know I'm there with TBS.
Have you really?
Yeah, and one of them you flagged. You're like, dude, I think we're gonna get sued. But I mean, those are the initials of our. I mean, right? We're with TBS.
Yeah. Today's big
By the
stuff.
way, Sam is the guy you want to be in a foxhole with. He will have your back 357 days a year. Those other days, you get the taint comment today.
It's true. Well, I mean, part of it is we are not a sophisticated operation. I hope you'll forgive me for saying that. I mean, whatever part of us is sophisticated is all you. Uh,
Well, I
it's
wouldn't go that
just
far. I would say I've lost short-term memory and some IQ in the process, but I feel like I've gained other things. I'm a little street smarter.
it's a trade off. It's but no, I kind of got tickled at that comment because I think if people knew what the process actually looks like, which is me waking up at 5:30 in the morning in the dark, stumbling to my laptop in my boxers, and coming to terms with the day's news, and then repackaging it in a way that doesn't make us all want to fucking jump off a bridge. And I don't know. I like the idea of like a big headquarters, maybe under the sea, and where our team of well trained dogs is currently working on the latest edition of the newsletter, but sadly, it's
By the
just
way,
us.
a lot of things have changed, right? Like under the sea would mean that Ursula is part of the fam now, which I learned recently.
Uh, I do not believe Ursula should be part of the fam. I believe she is an evil sea witch who tricked Ariel. Although, let's be honest, Ariel needs to read shit before she signs it. It's yeah. Wow. So that's the extent of my Little Mermaid knowledge. I don't know if you were testing me, but I think I did okay.
No, I mean that's more than I know. I actually was talking to a friend, Stephen Solomon, not too long ago, and he was saying they were going to see something Little Mermaid, and I was like, oh my gosh, all I remember is Ursula and how awful she was. And he goes, dude, you're like so behind because he's got two little girls. She's part of the fam now, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So. feel like I know
You see,
something there.
did you see Kyle said Ariel or Ariel? Uh, we are now beyond My Little Mermaid knowledge, and
Sam
so I
doesn't know nearly as much as he just claimed.
exactly,
But
exactly.
again, not ChatGPT.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't know how you pronounce it normally, and then I don't know how you pronounce it in Kentucky. So I'll just assume I'm getting it wrong. It's,
That reminds me of the Nate Bargatze piece where he talks about oil. I can't even say it the way he says it. He's like, oil, he's like, I got the oil change or whatever.
I'll tell you,
Um,
I've never been the biggest Nate Bargatze fan. It just, I don't. I mean, he's okay. It's just not my kind of. It doesn't tickle my funny bone. But I actually saw a great piece of advice from him the other day. I forget who was asking him what piece of advice he got from a comedian that was a great piece of advice, and he was like, it wasn't advice. It was just one night he had done a late set, and then he had to do a taping of the Tonight Show maybe, and he was complaining about it backstage, and he said that Dave Attell, the comedian, said, "Oh, do you have to write some more jokes?" And he said it was just such a slap in the face to remember that you know, he's not digging ditches, right? Like he writes jokes for a living, and he's very lucky to do so. And anyway, I just thought that was such a neat perspective. I've thought about it quite a bit since then.
yeah, Allie took me to see him, I think it was 2 years ago now for my birthday. And what I loved about him is it's stuff that you can relate to. Like I went to community college and I applied to one college in high school, George Mason University. And I was so excited. And then I got the rejection letter. Um, and I was like, okay, I'm never going to go there. So I went to this community college and all that. And he talks about going to community college. And he goes, community college, it's basically for people that plan on staying in the community. And the
I
way
went to
that he
three
just
community colleges. So what does that say? I went to three community colleges in three different communities.
Hey, I love it. I actually think we're very lucky here in the DC area because you have so many adjunct professors that are at Georgetown and other schools that Dr. Jill Biden was at Nova. But it's just so funny just the way he talks about stuff because it's just like it's just everyday stuff.
Yeah.
He
Hey, that
talked about
reminds me. I think we spent like 3 weeks talking about the John Candy documentary that was coming out. We have spent exactly 0 seconds talking about the new Chevy Chase documentary that's coming out. Um,
I just saw the
yeah,
picture and headline for it this morning, and the only thing I know about it was, which I can't even remember, was the name of it made me laugh.
CNN and Chevy Chase together. Talk about a nightmare blunt rotation.
Okay, is that why? That's why I saw it. We probably had
Yeah,
CNN on.
it's the name of it is "I'm Chevy Chase and You're Not," which was how he used to open Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. Chevy's a fucking asshole, man. I say that with some hesitation, considering I've been compared to him many times. Um, but it's
But
just
he,
it's
but is he not a Democrat?
Oh, I don't think he's anything other than a racist asshole. In
Interesting,
fact, the big news coming out, going into this documentary is about how not one member of the cast of the show Community would agree to be a part of it.
interesting.
Yeah,
Not even cousin
apparently,
Eddie.
uh, well, he wasn't on the show Community.
Got it. But I mean, like, so
No,
it's just
there are,
about
yeah,
that.
no, there are other people in it, but like people like some like Steve Martin said, no thanks. I think,
Got it. So
yeah,
he had
no,
more in common with cousin Eddie than we realized. They were actually
I
family.
think that's right. Yeah, I think if you were in the room with both of them, you would find cousin Eddie to be the nicer, more thoughtful, classier person. Yeah, if that seems. But yeah, apparently Chevy during at one
He,
filming even used the N word.
wow.
And yeah, I remember during the
That
Obama
shows how
administration.
out of touch I am right now with this because I'm like the only reason I can still watch Christmas Story with that guy in it is because of everybody else.
Mm, yeah, no, I get it. But no, I mean, Chevy's had a reputation for a long time of being kind of an asshole. He was well known for being a dickhead to John Belushi and to all the women on the early cast. Although I think Belushi was a sexist pig too.
De
Um,
Niro's an asshole too, but he's on the right side of history,
I mean, I think you could say the
typically.
same about me. But no, I mean, I think if you there's a movie on Netflix right now called Saturday night, and it's a movie about the very first episode of Saturday Night Live. It's wonderful. The casting is incredible, but it makes very clear throughout that movie that Chevy has been like this from the beginning.
Hmm.
And the thing is, he has so much public goodwill. It wouldn't take much for him to turn it around, but instead, he's so convinced of his greatness that he seems incapable of doing so, which is a fucking bummer. I mean, to me, Fletch is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's why I'm wearing a white Lakers hat. It's like my favorite nickname my friends have for me. It's way better than that fucking asshole. But I mean,
But
if you watch like the original Vacation movies, I mean, they're really funny. He was a talented, funny guy.
hmm
Um,
Vegas Vacation. I've seen them
but
all.
I mean, look, it's a rule for every industry. If you're a dickhead to the people you work with, and you're a dickhead to the people who help you do great things, uh, then it's probably not going to turn out great. Believe me, I've been down that road a couple times myself, and I think most people finally figure out that treating people like shit is a pretty self-defeating and awful way to go through life. And then there are people who never figure it out, and CNN does documentaries about them.
It's interesting that you just said that because we were talking about Ronan Farrow a week or two ago, and
Yeah,
who allegedly his father is,
yeah,
which I'm now drawing a blank on again.
Sinatra.
Um, Sinatra, and I saw Nancy Sinatra this morning um, posted that Frank was always a Democrat except
Mhm.
for basically two elections. One was Reagan, who was a close friend of his, and another for a very specific reason, and I think it was relating to China.
Yeah, it was
But
Nixon's China policy. Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
so, but there were a couple people in the comments who had worked with him who said one thing I'll never forget about him is when we were out filming, he always made sure that there nothing was segregated, everybody was involved, everybody was, so I mean, you have folks that are like still incredible staples who apparently I can't recall today, and you reminded me of 2 weeks in a row. But still, at that time, right? It was like when you and I were talking about Rob Reiner,
Mhm.
and the things that he was talking about decades before anyone else was talking about them.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing there. And Chevy Chase, it's like, look, we had Senator Robert Byrd, right? There's
Mhm.
a lot you can do to change who you were in the past, and that seems like a layup that he just doesn't want to do.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Yeah, I'll tell you, the only thing I could think of that would make people think Trump or Sinatra would be a Trump supporter is it is true. I'm not making this up. It is true that Sinatra's favorite color was orange, and that he believed orange should be the national color. So that actually is true.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll tell you my favorite Sinatra story. And I don't know if this is true or not. I'm fascinated by the Rat Pack. Like when I was in college, I went like so heavy. I thought the Rat Pack live at the Sands was like one of the best live shows. I memorized every word to it. I thought Dean Martin was a fucking genius. Um,
Here you
but the
go for
story.
the cell phone. These are all rumors. Okay.
But yeah, apparently the story goes that Sinatra went to the doctor, and the doctor asked him how much he drank. And when he told him, the doctor said, "Oh, Jesus, how do you feel in the morning?" And Sinatra said, "Well, I don't wake up in the morning, and I think I need a new doctor." And, yeah, those were the kind of the stories I used to tell myself when I was drinking like a fish and trying to make it seem cooler than it was.
How old did Frank Sinatra live to be?
117. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm thinking of the barbershop scene from Coming to America.
Yeah, great.
Frank Sinatra came in here, sat right in this seat, and I said, "Frank, you know how Joe Lewis? How old is Joe Lewis?" He said, "Joe Lewis, 138 years old."
That's one of my favorite movies.
It's so good.
Um, There was, I know we're supposed to focus on the positive, but there was an incredible person who passed away right before we got on. Do you want to mention
Oh
that?
yeah, I haven't had much time to read up on it, but I did see the Tatiana Schlossberg died. She was JFK's granddaughter. She was also the brave, brave woman. 35 years old, by the way. 35 years old, blood cancer. Um, you might remember about a month ago, she had the courage uh, to call out was it her cousin,
Mhm.
the brainworm fuckhead, um, for gutting the kind of cancer research that could find a cure for what killed her. Um, I would say, you know, the only silver lining here could be if her death causes that absolute freak show to maybe rethink his commitment to killing people. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's capable of that kind of. And I mean, this is a guy who killed like what 75 kids in Samoa, and then was like, Jesus, how can I kill some more?
Hmm.
Um,
And you know, I'm not saying anything that no one else has. It affects everybody. It doesn't care who you are. I mean, look at the post over the weekend from Ben Sass.
yeah, no, it's true. But again, how was Ben Sass voting when it wasn't him?
Right.
I mean,
No, I
I
know.
think to me that's different. Whereas Tatiana Schlossberg was just, I mean, so many people just trying to live, and the Trump administration was like, no, no, I don't think so. And I don't
But
know.
you would think
I
like
didn't
in a
need more.
situation like this, you know, I know Ben Sass has got a lot of family and all that kind of stuff, and at that point you're taking advantage of every moment you've got. But look, it's your legacy. I mean, you know, he should be out there calling out RFK Jr. and others.
Yeah, it's I just I can't hate that motherfucker anymore. I don't know how. He's a despicable, deranged, absolute freak show who seems to have an insatiable lust for killing people. Um,
And animals.
I really hope. I mean, it's probably foolish and naive, but I don't know. Maybe if accountability ever comes, I hope he dies in a fucking jail cell. That would be fine with me. And honestly, it'd probably be fine with him too. He would probably wouldn't know the difference.
He's already used to working out in jeans. So
Sinatra was 88 when he died.
88. Wow.
Pretty good. Not bad for a chain smoking alcoholic.
I think that
So
might be better than the life expectancy this day and age in the US.
no shit, right? I mean, it does seem like we're going backwards, but only because the White House is actively trying to murder us all. I'm
No, it's
not
true.
sure
And
why I'm
and the
laughing
thing
about
is,
it.
there's been so much good work that's happened over the last couple decades. I think it was like maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago we saw the ozone layer had shrunk, and like all these things were putting us on the right path, despite the
Yeah.
fact that, you know, there's all sorts of other terrible materials and all that out there.
Hmm.
And the damage, I'm thinking about your tweet a couple hours ago where you responded to somebody from the free press or whatever that was, right? The Barry's old thing that it was basically saying it's just 3 more years with Trump. Calm down.
Literally said, calm down. I had no idea there were fucking people out there still saying that shit. If you're in a position right now to tell other people to calm down, then you don't know what the fuck is going on. If you're not worried, if you're not scared, then you're too privileged to weigh in on this fucking conversation. Calm down. You know how you can tell somebody wasn't beaten and bear sprayed on January 6th? Because 5 years later they're still telling people to fucking calm down. I just I cannot imagine how privileged and out of touch you have to be. Like how far up your own ass does your head have to be to go around telling people to fucking calm down right now?
Yeah, I mean, the in the last 24 hours we saw a young woman who was sitting on a toilet using the restroom as ICE broke her public restroom door down.
How many US citizens have just been straight up tortured by ICE goons? I mean, they landed Blackhawks on the roof of a helicopter, rappelled down, terrorized everybody in the fucking building, marching children, some of them undressed, out into the freezing fucking Chicago cold in the middle of the night, and there was one arrest. And I think even that charge was dismissed. And this fucking lady wants us to calm down? It must be nice to live where she does and how she does, that she can get up on her high horse and tell us all to calm down. I'm not calming down. I'm fucking mad, and I'm going to stay mad. And you know what? I'm a tall fucking white dude with a country accent. If I wanted to just go along with all this bullshit, I'd be fine to do so. But that would make me a pretty terrible human being. I
Y-
don't know how you have such an empty soul that you can sit in your position of privilege and tell somebody who's scared, somebody who's angry, somebody who's getting fucked over by the US government that they just need to calm down and wait it out. It's just it's beyond. It's
You know, and
yeah.
as a party too, I mean, I think that uh I'm just thinking back to Chicago. They her outlet and Barry Weiss were granted credentials for a lot of different access at that convention. And that's just one of those things where I'm like, I think we shouldn't be doing what Trump's doing, the Pentagon, all that kind of stuff. But like most of our independent folks are like, like the Midas guys and others, like they're fact based. They don't have to ever walk anything back or apologize. But we shouldn't be allowing people like that uh, into areas where we want to get the truth out.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, I agree. You're basically just inviting trolls to come fuck up your messaging.
And they
I
were
think,
and they were also misrepresenting themselves too. And like in
well,
some
there's
areas,
that.
they were acting as if they were like creators
Right.
until you dug a little deeper, and they're like, "Oh yeah, 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 no, that
Well, it's like the scumbags terrorizing Minneapolis as we speak, right? Like these aren't real
that's
journalists. They're
who
just,
we're with."
you're cutting out on me, but it's not me. I did do airplane mode today.
It ain't you. It's definitely me.
What were we talking about?
I'm just talking about the fact that, like, I think, we can be smarter as a party and basically say, like, fuck you, you're not coming in here if you're going
Oh,
to be reporting
yeah, no, it's a
fake.
good.
Because think back to what you pointed out, which was really important. What they did with the dead children in Gaza.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it was really fucking appalling. It's not at the top of the list. It might not even be in the top 100, but the next Democratic president's going to have to make some decisions about what to do with all these fucking trolls that are now calling themselves White House reporters. Um, I mean, some of these guys are fucking active criminals. I remember when I was covering the Obama administration the first term, he was critical of Fox News, and the entire room, led by Jake Tapper, rallied around Fox News, rallied around to defend Fox News. Just another reminder of how differently all these white reporters treated Barack Obama versus Donald Trump. Um,
Well,
I
and
tell
on the
you,
active criminal piece, you're making a good point too, because what we're seeing now, and we've seen for a long time, is basically if you or anyone in your family has issues, you're going to go out there and you are going to stump, whether it's at Turning Points USA, right? We were talking about Brand, Nicki Minaj, and others, the pardons. You've got folks left and right that are coming out in hopes of just making things in their life or others in their life go away.
yeah, I mean that freak show who's engaged to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, he would go into the Oval Office pretending to be a reporter, and they'd be like, "Hey, there's somebody protesting outside. Can you make their First Amendment rights go away?" And Trump be like, "Yeah, we're on it." I mean, it was wild to me. And then you've got the mainstream media, with the exception of like two people who are indistinguishable from the right wing kiss asses. I'm sure they'll find their mission and their guts when it's a Democratic president again. I don't know. To me, this is the $64,000 question. I mean, I hear people talk about messaging and, should we move middle? Should we go more left and all this shit? And none of it matters as long as we don't have a Fox News. There is an entire media apparatus. And it's not just Fox and the right wing, it's the gravity they create pulling mainstream media in that direction. And mainstream media, which is now increasingly owned by billionaire buttheads. Um, yeah, like I always say, we're the media now. So sorry.
You're also quoting Elon Musk. What do you make of, and there's a lot of
I
stuff
won't
that
do it
she
again.
posts, and that's okay. That she posts and some stuff I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I disagree with it. But in terms of Caitlin Collins, did you ever think that you would see somebody who, and again, I know people change, but that was with the Daily Caller, who's now one of the few people that actually seems to like be willing to ask a question at some of these things?
No, I didn't anticipate that. I think I sort of expected the worst, like we all did. I don't know that Caitlyn is doing all that heroic work. I think the bar is just that fucking low that when she shows up and does the job the way you're supposed to do it, it seems like some act of heroism. Ideally,
Yeah,
there would be an
and I don't want to take
entire.
away from people who just crush it all the time, like our friend April. It's
I
just
mean, that's the
just
thing. But I mean,
curious.
look how marginalized April's been. I mean, and it wasn't just Trump that did that to her. There, were, white presidents and Democratic presidents did that to her too. I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about. I'm sorry.
No, no,
I'm
no. The
confused.
bar the bar is low part, and I
Well,
think
that's
that's
it.
right.
I
And
mean,
the thing,
ideally, you would have an entire press corps asking the questions that Caitlyn is asking. The fact that she's the only one doing it doesn't speak to how great she is. It speaks to what spectacular failures everybody around her is.
Yeah, and I think also, I mean, there's a number of people who have been incredible, but they they could never put those people in the room anymore, right? But they do a good job where they are, like an Abby Phillip, despite the fact that I don't love the setup of the show
But
where
that's the
people
thing,
get to
like
spew lies.
I think the world of Abby. She was an intern at the White House for Politico at the White House when I was there, and I mean I'm a huge fan of her as a journalist. But who do you think is inviting Scott Jennings on television to a lot of people? It's her show.
It is her
So
show, but you would know more than anyone else. One thing that my understanding is someone like Scott, who's got a beautiful contract from CNN, has a certain number of things they have to do, and oftentimes, um, uh, I mean, I guess could she just say she doesn't want Scott on the show anymore?
I mean, I would think so. I mean, she has defended him publicly, but I think that's the thing with corporate-owned media, right? Like, we don't know what's unspoken. We don't know who's doing what to keep their jobs. We don't know who's doing what to satisfy the billionaire assholes. One of the things I think
Unless
about
they're
a lot.
transparent, because Rachel Maddow did acknowledge that she took a pay cut in order to keep her show.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
Rachel's
she's one
she's
of the few that
she
actually
stands.
does call the network out.
Yeah, no, she stands alone in terms of integrity and honesty. But one of the things I think about a lot is remember when David Zaslav was put in charge of Warner Brothers, and basically he put Chris Licht in charge of CNN to make it more Republican-fied. And Chris Licht went through, and people like Jim Acosta, people like John Harwood got the boot. Now, John Harwood is and he's not a friend of mine. We don't get along all that well. But John Harwood is one of the finest journalists working, and it's mostly because he just fucking tells the truth. He doesn't have, a goldfish memory where he forgets what somebody said 5 minutes ago. But anyway, my whole point in saying this is when Harwood and Acosta and others got pushed out, what did Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, what did they do to stay? What did they do that made them different than the truth telling guy? Clearly, they were willing to put.
They went even more far right. They stopped talking to their
I think that's
friends.
it. They just
The
made it clear
reporters
they
that
were
I've
willing.
talked to, some who you've mentioned, never even heard from anybody after they left on MSNBC at the time and CNN as well. And Harwood, to your point, is somebody. The first time I ever interacted with him, he called me, he texted me and then called me in 2016, introduced himself and said, "Hey, I'm not an authoritative expert on Ukraine, but I'd like to talk to you about some of the stuff going on in Russia to learn more, because I'm trying to." And I think that, some of these guys, and men and women, who know what they know but know what they don't know. You gave two great examples. I mean, um, uh, he's, I've always thought one of the most kind of stand up and straightforward people there is.
Who,
Harwood.
Harwood? Yeah, no, I agree.
Harwood. And
Yeah,
Acosta,
and
you
so,
know what I mean?
but then it becomes a question of, okay, what did everybody else who kept their jobs, what did they do to be complicit? What did they signal that the GOP bean counters were like, okay, we're fine with this person staying on? I mean, that's the thing about corporate media is it just makes you distrustful of everybody, and maybe that's the goal.
Yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
by
it
the
might be,
way,
but I'm glad that you brought up Chris because, people's memory, including me, is a little long term is good,
I
short
can't
term
believe
is
I remember
bad.
his name. I've got to be the only person in the world who does.
But what he did, an absolute disgrace. That's probably worthy of a piece at some point that we do of like the top 500 things that like nobody should ever forget.
I think we did like do a piece making fun of him, but actually I can't remember either. I know things,
Just
500 things people should
a
never
laundry
forget.
list.
I love that I'm
I
going
mean,
to do a
look,
list that we're going to do a list of things people shouldn't forget, but I can't even remember what we were talking about 3 fucking seconds ago.
well, so it was just yesterday that Donald Trump was sitting next to Bibi and was talking about the new ballroom and how it's going to be put to good use for the next inauguration. What was that all about?
I mean, I think that's a very nice thing for him to do for President-elect Bashir, but I assume Andy will want to do it on the Capitol steps, like most American presidents. I'm kidding. I'm not endorsing Andy. I just like him. I went with the Kentucky guy because that's all I could think of. Yeah, fuck him and his ballroom. I think he's going to be
Or for
shocked
the
to see
Newsom
what.
supporters, maybe the knee pads will look good on Trump in that
No,
ballroom.
I think it's going to make an excellent child care center for everybody who works in the White House complex.
I think it should be like that, and a kitchen that feeds, and also an area that can house people when the weather is freezing outside. All of the
I like
above.
that. Yeah, no, I like all of that. Yeah,
I'd like to
oh,
see it torn down too. I mean, to be just to be
I mean, that's
honest.
the thing. I mean, that's the thing. I'm sitting here. There's part of here's what I want to see, and then there's here's what the modern Democratic Party will actually do. And it's like there's a level of toughness and vengeance we're gonna want from the Democratic nominee in 28. And it can't be any more of this. I love Joe Biden, but if I ever heard him say one more fucking time how Mitch McConnell was his friend, I was gonna lose it. Um, the next
I I
Democratic president can't do that
I
shit.
I agree. And they have to come in there and they can't be afraid of the stuff that we will be quote unquote labeled for. For instance, those two large flagpoles, they got to come down.
I mean,
Sell it
just
for
the idea. I
scraps,
mean,
whatever, donate it to
it's
a local, women and girls shelter, whatever. But like that crap has to come down. We can't be
well,
afraid to take down a flagpole.
not just that, but it'll also be time to call out media bullshit when they try to both sides of this. Oh, you're tearing down the horrible shit he put on the Walk of Fame about Biden and Obama. Are you trying to tear this country apart? No, motherfucker. I'm trying to restore some class to the White House. Trying not to shit
Yeah.
on the leaders the people here have elected.
I'd
I
lo-
just,
I'd love I'd love if that question come up, the next Democratic president says, "Fuck you." Now, how about a real question? I mean,
I mean, that the
that's it.
reality is that's the attitude we're going to need. Fuck you. That's not journalism. Do you have a real question, or do you just want to repeat more Republican talking points? And the media will hate them, and they'll get torn apart by the New York Times editorial board. And you know what? They did the same thing to Mom Donnie, and he still fucking won in a landslide. So
And
until the
and by the way,
president,
that is a stupid question, right? As opposed to real questions being asked. So how about that is one of the dumbest questions I've ever heard. How about your network send somebody who wants to do real journalism?
it's like I know you've gotten used to kissing orange ass all these years, but we're only dealing with real journalists here.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Like, I remember when Trump was booted out of office the last time, people like Ryan Lizza and Olivia Nuzzi were posing for like glossy magazine covers. Maureen Dowd wrote a whole fucking column about how the press had been heroes during the Trump years, and now they had to keep doing their important duty and holding Biden to account. And I remember thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? What press were heroes during the Trump years? I can name like five. Uh, anyway, there is a temptation. There was a temptation last time to move on to normalcy so fucking fast that no accountability happened. I will never forget, and honestly, I'll never forgive. Joe Biden's a good man. Joe Biden's a good heart. Um, and on the day Trump was acquitted in the Senate for January 6th, Joe Biden told reporters it's time to move on. I cannot think of a more damaging message to come from the president of the United States in that minute than that. I don't know. Maybe he just felt like he had limited options. Maybe he felt like he had to focus on the economy, that he would get credit for that in the long run. He didn't. He didn't get credit in the long run. You don't get credit for taking the high road and focusing on policy. Usually, what you get is a losing election. You know?
Yeah, and also he probably, I mean, these folks have been around so long. He probably believed, like Susan Collins does on a lot of stuff, that maybe the guy actually learned a lesson and that was going to be the end of it, which was ridiculous. But whatever the reasons are, here we are. I think you said it best a long time ago, which was he was the right president at the right time to heal this country, but the party completely fucked up and never had a conversation about who was going to move us forward
Yeah.
after that country was healed.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think we also sort of neglected the fact that a lot of this country didn't have an interest in healing. They wanted the wounds open. They wanted them bleeding. There's shit. It allowed Trump to win another election.
But
Healing.
the good
No,
news
I,
for
I,
us is these washed up independent media folks that just do these random videos are going to be running the FBI and other stuff. So I don't know what your plans are, but I would like the CIA personally.
I'd just like to be able to fucking sleep at night without wondering if the
I'm
president of the
kidding.
United States is going to nuke
I just want
LA.
Fios. I just want my internet
Uh,
back.
yeah, that's it. I just want to take the afternoon off. No, I don't know, man. I guess I would like to be one of the people swinging a hammer at the fucking ballroom, or throwing a fucking rope around the new Trump arc and pulling it to the ground like a Saddam statue. That's it. I don't need a job. I just want to participate in the
For the
destruction
agents
of
watching,
Trumpism.
this is after Donald Trump is out of office and Democrats take office and we start taking stuff down and nobody gets injured. It's all planned and approved. We've got
Yeah,
permits for the tearing down.
yeah. Also, uh, I want to shit all over the Secret Service as an agency because I think they suck, but they also have to smell Trump and be around him. So I feel like that's punishment enough.
You've already, yeah, technically you're doing that on a daily basis. How about a happy ending at the 45-minute mark?
Oh shit. A happy ending. Well, here's the happiest fucking ending. 2025 is ending. Yay! What a year. Man, I live in Los Angeles. This year my city burned down and was invaded by the United States military, and it has been a time. So yeah, my happy ending is that this year is
Here you go.
ending.
Here you go. Hold on. Did I do it right? A little applause for your happy ending.
Oh, other than that, getting off crutches by the end of this week, that's a happy ending for me. I'm fucking desperate to be surfing again. I'm desperate to be walking normal again. It was funny. I had a friend over the other night, and he was like, "So what's the recovery time?" I was like, "They think I'll be surfing again in 2 months." He goes, "Well, when can you walk normal again?" I was like, "Oh yeah, probably should be focused on that." Oh well.
And as we learned from the Mueller report, we have uh oh, the Fios truck is here. We have
Nice.
zero expectations that Sam will be off any of this, so that we will be pleasantly surprised by Friday, Saturday when he is, right?
We'll see. That's I don't know. That's the thing about these Christmas breaks or these holiday breaks is that no snooze alarm, that no alarm in the morning gets nice. And it's funny. Like I really reached a point where I can't stay up past like 10 p.m. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been staying up watching movies and drinking hot chocolate. It's been cozy. I'm enjoying the holiday vibe. Mostly
I'm
because I know what's fucking coming. I mean, this is gonna be a hell of a year, y'all. We got midterms in fucking 9 months, and excuse me, 11 months, and it's
and I think we'll have a bunch of special elections too. I mean, we're starting to see more retirements, but they are mostly for November. I think depending on what happens, again, there could be another government shutdown. I think that one went through the 31st of January, that
yeah.
extension.
I mean, you're already hearing people like Dick Durbin say. I mean, like the people who surrendered last time are already saying they're not going to let it happen again. Permits. What am I looking at here? I feel like I missed part of the conversation. Oh, do we need? Well, we need permits to destroy Trump shit. No, I don't think so. I
No,
mean, if
what
I'm
we
president,
learned from Donald Trump, if it's one of the small truths, is you don't need a permit to tear shit down. You need a permit to rebuild stuff.
I think all you need is a Democratic president tweeting, "Hey, be there. It'll be wild." And apparently, that's just
Live
fine to do.
stream it, cross stream it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. Let's see. Movies. Oh, I
And
know what
by
I
the
was
way,
going
it
to
doesn't
say.
feel like tomorrow is New Year's Eve.
No, it doesn't. But it also didn't feel like Christmas. No, I know what I was going to say. We're talking about movies, and we love to talk about movies and stuff. I think it was a couple weeks ago. The user who goes by the name Lily B, I think is right. Um, she had put on that we were talking about Andy Samberg, and she was saying that she had just watched the movie Hot Rod. If you've never seen Hot Rod, it is one of the funniest damn movies. It's about basically an idiot teenager who thinks he's a stuntman on like a broken moped. It's fucking hilarious, and I highly recommend it. Uh, there was one other thing I was going to talk about. Oh, I just watched the movie The Holiday for the first time, and man, what a delightful, charming movie. Jack Black is so good in that. It's so strange to see him as like a romantic
So
lead.
exciting. By the
Oh,
way.
that's good news. Good for you. I'm gonna
I
I'm,
haven't
I'm
seen
gonna
that
call him
one.
and tell him to go to your neighbor's house.
But I do have the coolest thing ever, and I'll give you the story another time. But check this out, okay? I never had any friends later on like the ones I had when I was 12. Jesus, does anyone? Signed by Will and written by Will. How great is this?
Oh man, that is really cool.
So we've
God,
got that up
what
now
a
in the
beautiful
dining room.
movie. What a
Yeah,
cool
I
fucking
watched it
movie.
the other day again, and yeah.
I've also been watching The Detroiters, which is Tim Robinson, which is just, oh my God, I just think he's the funniest damn guy.
He really, I mean, he really is. It's like you
Yeah.
just never know what you're gonna get. It reminds me of like early SNL, but also like Mad TV back in the day.
Well, that's it. It's just it reminds me of like Andy Kaufman stuff where it was just like sometimes you don't even know if what you're watching is comedy because it just makes you so uncomfortable. Uh, but
It's
yeah.
kind of
Oh, I know.
he's a little bit of an acquired taste. Like at first I was like, this
Well, I
is
think
like
yeah, I think a lot of people just straight up don't like him. It just doesn't work for them. But to me, guy's fucking hilarious. I tell you, on I Think You Should Leave, which is a sketch comedy show on Netflix. There's this whole sketch about a dude who wore a fedora with safari flaps in the back to work, and like the whole thing takes place in a courtroom where this woman is on trial for insider trading, and the prosecutor is reading her text messages, and the text messages are just her and another guy making fun of this guy's hat. And I know I'm not doing a very good job explaining it, but to me, it's like it is one of the funniest fucking sketches of all time. But yeah, I think Tim Robbins is a genius. Kids in the Hall, SCTV, I'm with you. Absolutely brilliant. That's why I would add. I think you should leave to that list. Although those two are Mount Rushmore, so I don't know that I would put Tim up there with them. At least not yet. The other thing I was going to say is I think I'm going to watch the new Wicked movie tonight. I really loved the first part, and I couldn't make it to the theater because of my injury. So I think it's actually
I
available
haven't
for
seen the
rental at
first one.
home. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
I'll
Allie,
tell you
her
something
mom and
crazier than
sister
that.
all did it, but it was 3 hours.
It is, but it's also really good. It flies by. The
Yeah. Oh
music's
yeah, I'm
so
sure.
great. Yeah. I'll tell you something fascinating. So I'm at physical therapy this morning, and the young woman who was like working me out, they were talking about movies. They were talking about One Battle After Another, which again, if you haven't seen, it's fucking fantastic. Um, but I asked her if she had seen the new Wicked because I told her I was thinking about watching it tonight. And she goes, yeah. And we started talking about it. And she was like, I asked her if she'd seen The Wiz. Do you remember that? It might be a little
Of
before your
course.
time.
No, I've seen The Wiz.
And she said, no, but I've also never seen The Wizard of Oz. And I just, and I was just like, why would you watch Wicked if you don't know anything about The Wizard of Oz? I really, I mean, it was like my brain just malfunctioned. I could not, like, why the fuck would you want to know the backstory if you don't know the first story? Like, I had such a hard time with that. And then I suggested she watch The Wiz because it's just really fun.
I find the whole history of Judy Garland and just everything so fascinating. I mean, even when there's like auctions and stuff, I'm obsessed just kind of like looking at the different things they put up and such
Next
an
time you're out
interesting
here, I'll
life that
take,
she lived.
next time, next time you come out here, I'll take you to her grave. There's
Is
she's
she
buried
is she is she buried in the Hollywood? Yeah,
Hollywood Forever
the whole.
Cemetery, and there's also like
Yeah,
a little
yeah, yeah.
statue of Toto the dog. Uh,
Really?
it's
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
cool.
it is. Yeah, Hollywood Forever is like I don't know. People who come here out of town, they should visit that place because it is surreal. You can go to concerts there, like in the middle of a cemetery. It's fucking
And
wild.
if
There's
you're
also
watching,
peacocks everywhere.
I did see that. If you're watching and you are never going to make it out there or you can't, they actually have everything itemized on the
Oh yeah,
website
yeah.
because I've
Which you
checked out the
kind of
website
need because,
before.
like, otherwise you wouldn't really know where stuff is.
Right.
For the longest time, the only reason I knew how to get anywhere is because there's a big statue of Joey Ramone, and there's a statue of Anton Yelchin, which has only been added. He only died a few years ago. You might remember as the actor who played Scotty in some of the new remakes of Starship Troopers. Um,
So
but
that's your
yeah,
point
it's
of
cool.
reference. You're like, all right,
Man, I
there
tell you,
he is.
I fucking love Hollywood history. It's funny. I've got two
17
books.
steps to the right is Judy Garland.
I mean, I like it. They also have peacocks like everywhere there, which is really cool to me. No, it's
Like
funny. I've got two.
live peacocks.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That live on the grounds. Yeah.
Huh.
No, it's funny. I've got two books that I'm looking at right now, getting ready to start reading. One of them is Ron Chernow's biography of Mark Twain. It's a Ron Chernow book, so it's only 1,100 pages long. But the other one
No
is a
big
book
deal.
about the Lakers that I'm like, so excited to read. And it's just because I don't know, like LA history is like 10 minutes old, but it's still really interesting to me.
Yeah, and so much history is probably lost in the fires as well. I mean, it's just been I saw on Instagram somebody was like 2025 was a fever dream, and you can only do so many photos in one post. I don't know what it was, 2030. And the stuff that like we've already forgotten about that took place this year is
I
just
tell you what's fucking
unbelievable.
wild to me. Just look at the different economic messaging from Trump in this year alone. You remember when he first came to office, it was, we're going to experience pain. Your child can only have two dolls now. And now
Hmm.
it's, oh, we've worked on affordability the whole time. What are you talking about? The economy's fucking great. It's like, no, you told us there would be pain. There is pain. And now you're fucking lying about it. And it's, I don't know. It's,
And that
I'm convinced
admission,
the
which was
short
a
memories of Americans in our mainstream media are going to doom us.
totally, and that admission of the pain, which is one of the few truths, came after the election, of course, right?
Yeah. By the way, I'm seeing in the
It was like
comments
a
that I
week
got.
after the election or something.
No, I think that's right. It was like a week after the election. Yeah. I'm seeing in the comments that I fucked up everything there was to fuck up about Anton Yelchin. He played Chekhov on Star Trek. What did I say? Starship Troopers? I don't even. Yeah. See, I told y'all, man. I'm on fumes.
You probably said Starballs or the other one, whatever. What's the one that you always do?
Spaceballs. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Do you
See,
not fucking know
see,
the movie Spaceballs?
okay. The whole idea here was that I would fuck something up. This guy is so great. He is fixing everything outside right now. I did a bigger fuck up than you, so no one's ever going to talk about your fuck up again.
Well, I appreciate that. But if you don't know
Happy to
Spaceballs, you
help.
should. Yeah.
Oh, I do. And by the way, we I think it was the last, I think I said it to you, but there were a couple Spaceball comments. There were a couple people that commented last week that said they still are with the newsletter because of the Spaceball commentary early on.
Yeah, I know. It means the world to me. It's well, I mean, that's the thing about this community, right? Like, we're all here for several different reasons, right? Like, number one, we're here because we're resisting. We're resisting fascism in America. Number two, we want to know that we're not alone while we're doing it, right? Like, there's strength in numbers. There's comfort in numbers. And number three, we have so many of the same, like, pop culture loves, and I don't know, we laugh at the same shit. I mean, that's the thing about having like such a uniquely fucked up voice as a newsletter is it attracts people that, it only attracts cool people. Like, the fucking
That's
nerds and
true.
losers, the nerds and losers go read Politico. The cool people come to us.
And what I love about Sam being 30 years older than me is if I don't know what he's talking about, I just go and look it up and I learn something really interesting. So,
Yeah.
that's
30
how it
years,
works.
huh? Okay.
No, I think it's just a couple. Um, Yeah, maybe I lie about my age the way Putin does. All right, well, this was fun.
This
We'll
really
get it
was
out
fun.
quick.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks for everybody for joining us today. I don't have any deep, profound message other than I uh, I want y'all to be good to yourselves over this little break. Uh, don't feel like you got to do anything big for New Year's. Don't feel like you got to be plugged in. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do to relax and recharge your brain before we enter 2026, because it's going to be a bastard. And we're going to need you firing on all cylinders this year. So as we close out today, as we close out this year, I just say, please be good to yourselves. Okay. We love you.
We do love you. We're so grateful for all of you guys that keep this thing going. And I don't know if there will be a 60-second or not. We're about to find out. Kyle's on. Maybe Kyle can play the little. I usually have an
Nice.
outro so people can keep going in the comments. But Kyle was helping with the. Oh, hold on. Maybe this is it. We do. We have a
By the
1 minute
way,
outro. So when I end it, there will be another minute. No, keep going.
nice. No, I was just going to tell people about Kyle. I think people who've been with us for a while know who he is. But Kyle's the reason like our shit looks as good as it does, like our website, everything, because he's the genius who knows how to do that shit. Whereas all I know how to do is cuss, and all Adam knows how to do is like be nice to people. And so it's nice to have Kyle to make us look like we know what we like, make us look like we know what we're doing.
Yeah, we have to meet with Kyle at the end of each year, which is about now, to discuss what he needs to make sure he never leaves us. He was on, he made sure this happened today, and he's the best. I think it's
Man,
been
he
like
is the
maybe like
fucking
7
best.
or 8 years now. Like 8 years. I think I worked with him like two before I met you. So
Yeah,
Um,
no, he's the man. And
and he
honestly,
got
I don't.
married in
We'd be a
2025. That was
fucking
one of
mess
the
without him.
highlights.
He got married this year.
Yeah, he got married this year.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a good thing. Nice.
Yeah,
I knew there was
so
some good shit that happened this year.
yeah, we'll try
Uh,
to come up with a couple of good things, but that was one of them.
yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited. I'm about to have internet soon. I'll end it. People have a minute, and then if I think Kyle's listening, hopefully Kyle will grab those comments and
If I could just real quick, if anybody
go for
from
it.
the management team at Pornhub is watching, just brace yourself. Adam's about to get internet back. And so your usage rate, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I know you're a family man and I'm I could
They're
I
trying
couldn't
to figure
resist.
out what is going on with this dip right now.
Yeah, it's like, well, we're gonna have to close shop. It's like when I quit.
Um,
It's like when I quit drinking, I was convinced that like Maker's Mark was gonna have to shutter its doors. It's like I was so sure that I was like holding them up personally.
I'm just glad when you asked that you weren't asking if there were any female editors out there. So on that note, um, we'll wrap this up. If people get an extra minute, and we love you guys.
Love y'all.
I see ya.
Happy New Year.
Happy New